Yo, what is up, guys? Joker bringing you another video with a rather perplexing announcement that we received from GGG earlier today. About an hour ago, they dropped the official dates for Path of Exile's 2's zero point 0.2 expansion league. I guess it's its own league since it says Dawn of the Hunt. And this has me actually relatively concerned because if we take a look at the dates, we're going to have the live reveal on March 27th, which would be like our normal PoE league announcement, right? The week before the actual league launches, they usually have that announcement where they go over all the stuff we're going to be expecting. I'm assuming that's what that's going to be. And then it's playable on April 4th, which is a really interesting date, right? Not only is it like pretty much a full month before I thought it was going to happen, I was under the understanding that they were kind of pushing it off a little bit because they allocated resources back to Path of Exile 1 to work on 3.26, right? So my understanding of all of their posts has been that 0.2 is coming after Legacy of Phoenicia. So since Legacy of Phoenicia got extended, I was assuming it was going to come late April, early May, which would have made perfect sense. It would have gave us plenty of time to play before 3.26. Like it would have fit into the timeline really, really, really well. But then we have the date, I'm sorry, that's what I'm going to next. Then we have the date of April 4th, which does not make any goddamn sense to me because this is pretty much 20 days before I was estimating this to be ready. I have no idea how they sped up the timeline while allocating resources back to PoE 1. I don't know how they shortened the time frame when they had less people working on the 0.2. So that was kind of confusing. The only thing that comes to mind with this is the fact that EHG and Last Epoch have announced for months at this point that their season 2 is going to be April 2nd, right? If we go ahead and take a look, we have 20 days until the Tombs of the Erased, which is season 2 for Last Epoch. And then GGG deciding to put the launch date on April 4th seems to be kind of a direct fuck you to EHG, even though EHG went out of their way to congratulate GGG on the launch of Path of Exile 2. Right? They went out of their way to make a post saying, congratulations on the launch, log in, like, and everyone was super supportive of that because it was at the same time where Blizzard was being like dickheads about like the Diablo like thing, right? So when we saw EHG do this, everyone was like, see, that is how competitive game studios really should be. Even though they're in the same market, they can still be, cordial and congratulate each other's success. But these dates kind of indicate that not only does GGG not care, it's like a direct middle finger to EHG. Even though they've extended the olive branch of like, hey, congratulations, like, we're really happy that your launch went so well. GGG's like, yeah, we know you've been working on this season 2 for months and months, but fuck you, we're going to put out our update at the same time. And we know that we have more of a mainstream audience, so there's probably going to be players that drop off from season 2 to come play this. And honestly, that is more than a little upsetting and more than a little annoying because it not only is it like bad faith, it's essentially showing that GGG has no consideration for the other genres in the game. And since Path of Exile and Path of Exile 2 have been kind of going downhill right? In the terms of presence with the community, of them giving us like an 8-9 month Settlers League and pretty much almost dropping Path of Exile 1 completely. And then Path of Exile 2, in my opinion, is literally half baked. It's literally like a third to half of a game, and they're trying to push and promote it so hard specifically because it did get more mainstream attention. I think that they're trying to capitalize on EHG's launch of the season 2, to go ahead and get more eyes back on Path of Exile 2, because there's pretty much a tenth of the players remaining that there was a couple of months ago. And we've had a couple of race events, right? Which apparently no one's given a fuck about. I don't know if they thought that that was going to draw more attention back to Path of Exile 2, but I originally called this. I said that this was a mainstream fluke, and numbers are not going to be anywhere near this again. And I still stand by that statement. I think that zero point 0.2 is going to peak out at probably 110, 120K players. That's it. And this is just developing bad faith, not only from EHG, but from the fan base as well. Because not only does it fuck over EHG, this fucks over the players as well. This makes us have to try to figure out how to split our time between potentially playing Path of Exile 2 or the long anticipated season 2 of Last Epoch, right? I've been waiting for season 2 of Last Epoch for a while, and I'm most likely going to be playing that because I hate the end game of Path of Exile 2. It's stupid and it's half baked and the maps are too big. Like I don't like it. I don't want to run through the campaign as a huntress and then do nothing. The economy in Path of Exile 2 quickly devolves to shit because it's not really balanced that well. Unless this reveal on the 27th says something amazing, I don't get the point of this. They should have literally just pushed this off until the end of May, give the devs more time to actually work on getting it into a playable state, because people have already been waiting for multiple months, right? The interest is already at an all-time low. It's not like it's going to get an even lower low. Well, I mean, potentially it could, but for the mainstream, it's not like they really have anything to lose by having it be at the beginning of May instead of the beginning of April. If anything, they're going to take a hit to their player numbers because of the exact thing that I just said. More people are probably excited for this than this. I'm sorry. Path of Exile 2 is not that good of a game. I'm just going to flat out say it. It's not. It's okay. It has some potential, but it needs drastic changes. It is not good enough right now. It's literally a solid 6 game, and the player numbers reflect that. If it was this amazing game that everyone shills about and blows smoke out their ass, oh my god, it's the future of ARPGs, then there would actually be more support from the game. But right now, there's really nothing to do in the game after you beat the campaign. The campaign is the only good part of the game. Everything else is mediocre and choppy at best. So it kind of annoys me a little that they decided to rush this out just to compete with EHG, to kind of be a dick, right? Be the bigger guy pushing the smaller guy out of the way. That is the only reason these dates would make any sense from everything else that they've told us in prior announcements. These dates make no fucking sense otherwise. You can't convince me that these dates make any sense otherwise with every announcement post they've made saying that it's going to be happening primarily probably in the latter half of April, but yet somehow when you have less resources, you're getting it out faster. I don't I don't get that. This either means that they reallocated everyone that was working on 3.26 back to zero point 0.2, which means that we may not even get 3.26 in June. It may be like a fucking year-long Settlers League, which is going to piss off majority of the fan base. So this comes off as out of touch. It comes off as arrogant. Like it just comes off bad. I'm sorry. There's no way you can spin this that it makes any goddamn sense. But this video devolved into more of a rant than an update. But yeah, I'm fucking annoyed because now I have to try to figure out how to balance this with everything else going on. Thanks, GGG.